Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Screen Seeing Guru. Today I'll be discussing some movie news and some topics I'll discuss. So going into this, we did hear about how Fallout Season 2 is coming. I did a bit of a coverage in my last video about it. Interesting that Prime Video is coming out with quite a lot of content. Gen V Season 2 just wrapped up. I need to start watching it. Apparently they did some boys crossovers, so that's really cool. Paramount and Warner Brothers are discussing a buyout deal, which is very intriguing as well. This is the third offer that Paramount has offered Warner Brothers for a complete buyout. They've said no. Zaslav has turned it down despite a sweetheart deal where he could stay on as a CEO/chairman, so that's very interesting news. So like I said, we're in, I think, day 26, government shutdown, so a lot of stuff going on there. We have seen federal workers now getting aid, supplies being brought to them via the National Guard, so that's very intriguing news. Talked about Star Wars stuff in my last video, so I'll skip over that for now. And I also addressed James Gunn potentially walking away from Warner Brothers. Despite the uncertain future, he said there's always a chance new leadership could come in and maybe they don't like what he's doing. So that's very interesting as well. Okay, so on to some movie news here. We did hear over the last few days that the Miamivice has had some movement with casting as far as who Crockett and Tubbs will be. We apparently heard that the studio has looked at Michael B. Jordan first. They contacted him, and then of course they were trying to figure out who could be the other role, and apparently Austin Butler contacted Michael B. Jordan himself to be in the role. Apparently he said he loves Sinners and that he has admired him from afar and he would like to work with him, so that's a very interesting choice, because before we thought we were going to get Glenn Powell, but now it sounds like he's out and that they were looking for more of an indie film actor, which that's Austin Butler for you. So moving on from there, we got Danny Gilroy, who's going to write the script, the story, and of course we're going to get Krasinski to direct, which is awesome because Krasinski has just been on a banger list of films. He did Tron Legacy back in the day. He did Top Gun Maverick, F1, and now he's moving on to Miami Vice. So it's very interesting news to hear. A lot of people are speculating of this Paramount buying Discovery Warner Brothers because, of course, that will lead to less jobs and less content being created for the channels. I think of it as sort of, this all began really 5-6 years ago when Fox got bought by Disney, and we saw the potential for these companies to kind of collapse in on themselves. And then now we're seeing the same thing happen with Warner Brothers Discovery potentially selling to another studio. And I gotta mention, Paramount already owns Skydance, so they have a movie studio to start making motion pictures and start moving along with their slate. But apparently, according to Larry Ellison, he needs more IPs to be successful in the future, especially for his son, who's going to be running a lot of this stuff. Apparently, itwelcometoderry premiered on Max with a slightly less than expected viewership, apparently. Some people said it had mixed reviews. They only released the first 5 episodes. They didn't drop the last 3, similar to how Peacemaker Season 2 was for the screeners. And I've been hearing a lot of bad stuff about Peacemaker Season 2, which is unfortunate because I'm a big fan of the show. But I don't have Max, so I don't watch the current seasons. Waiting for them to be out on physical media, hoping that they do that. But yeah, going on from there, got some other news, otherwise horror news. Mike Flanagan has wrapped his Carrie TV series that is from MGM Amazon. That's going to come out next year in 2026. I'm excited about the Carrie TV series. I watched the original. I didn't watch the reboot. I need to catch it up and watch it. but I'm really excited about this. Is going to be like the 6th or 7th Stephen King project they've adapted in the last year. They did Life of Chuck. They did The Long Walk, which I still need to watch that, guys. I heard it's out now. So, and then of course they also did. I want to say there was another disaster film that Stephen King came out with that didn't go over very well for the people that made it, but very interesting stuff. Robert Englund, and we're also gonna get. I'm gonna have to look her up real quick, but Robert Englund is gonna get his Hollywood Star Walk of Fame star on Halloween, October 31st, for his roles as Freddy Krueger. So that's really exciting news for all of us that loved those Nightmare on Elm Street films. They are talking about rebooting the franchise now, so that's really cool. A bit of sports news: John Cena has confirmed his last few fights for his farewell tour. His last 2 Raw appearances will be on November 10th and 17th. Will be his last 2 Raw performances. And then Survivor's on November 29th, which is going to be very good. And December 13th is the main event title match. So that's very interesting as well. We did hear recently over the last few days about U.S. Navy warships being sent down to Venezuela, South America, in this aim to crack down on drug trafficking. Very interesting stuff there. I don't think that a lot of our armed forces would like to get involved in a conflict in South America because there's more things here locally that need to be secured, but it seems that this administration, they've been blowing up drug boats the last few weeks, and now they're really cracking down hard on Colombia and claiming these people in power, the political people in place right now, are drug lords. They're trying to get them out of position, and it seems like moving these warships to be able to do a ground assault is just that. I do want to bring up these warships were moved from the Middle East. Now, whenever we move strategic assets from one area to another, some place is left undefended. So very interesting stuff there. Moving on to significant, really bad storms happening over Jamaica, the islands of the Caribbean. The Caribbean are getting hit really bad with this category. I believe it was 1, but now it's building to a category 2, 3 storm over the Caribbean. Really bad stuff happening there. Jamaica got 2 feet of water. They were flooding. So really want to shout out to all the people in Haiti. Haiti is getting affected as well. There's a crane collapse in Massachusetts as well, where 2 people were left dead after they were apparently breaking down the port of Massachusetts because they aren't getting ships as frequently due to the tariffs and the trade embargo. So as they were breaking down their port, an accident occurred where a large crane fell over. And then Andymuschietti has recently come back in the news. He apparently says his plan is to still direct Batman the Brave and the Bold with his partner. A lot of interesting speculation there because we don't really know what's happening with Batman Brave and the Bold. It's still, I believe, 2 years out, and will it be happening by the time of this merger, the sale? Also, Batman Part 2 with Robert Pattinson's in question because they just turned in a script a few months ago, finally easing everyone's expectations, and now with this news of Warner Bros. Being potentially sold off, will the Batman, Brave and the Bold, or even Pattinson's Batman Part 2 possibly suffer the fate of Batgirl, where they could be potentially a tax write-off? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. Be sure to like the video, comment down below what your thoughts are. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads @SceneScreenGuru if you want to contact me personally, or show me a few memes you like. I do try to post regularly. TikTok, I post bonus features to movies and television I watch. Just wrapped up season 1, Peacemaker again, finishing it off. I do have a bit of bonus features to check up on. But besides that, this will do it for my video today. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tell your friends, and come back next time. Bye-bye. Alrighty.